a 100-foot-long snake. They flew over it once. The snake struck at the airplane, and the snake...
For centuries, people who lived near this river told stories. Stories of a serpent so immense it could swallow a man whole. A creature that moves between worlds, water and land, like a ghost. The rest of the world call it a myth, a legend. Hollywood made it a monster. But science is just catching up with what was always true. The anaconda is real. It is ancient and it is still out there, right now, guiding silently beneath the water you are looking at. Let's talk about what this animal actually is, because the truth is more impressive than any movie. The green anaconda is the world's heaviest snake and among the longest ever measured. Female anacondas regularly reach 5 to 6 meters in length and can weigh over 250 kilograms. To put that perspective, that's heavier than a fully grown male lion. Their bodies contain over 300 vertebrates, giving them extraordinary flexibility. And they carry zero venom because they don't need it. Instead, they use pure crushing muscular force, wrapping around prey and then tightening with every exhale until the animal suffocates. Then their jaws, attached by elastic ligaments, stretch wide enough to swallow that prey whole. Capybara, a caiman, even a deer, consumed entirely. To a meal that size, an anaconda may not need to eat again for weeks, even months. Here is something that should stop you in your tracks. In 2025, scientists at the University of Cambridge published a landmark study, the Journal of Vertebrate Paleontology. Their team analyzed 183 fossilized anaconda vertebrates that remains of the at least 32 individual snakes discovered in the ancient rock beds of Venezuela. Anacondas have been exactly this size, giants, for over 12 million years. They measured ancient vertebrates and calculated the prehistoric anacondas were already 4 to 5 meters long. This means while other Mycins megafauna, the 12-meter caiman Presaurus, and the enormous freshwater turtles Tupendames went extinct, but the anaconda didn't. It survived, it adapted, it endured, while empires rose and fall, while continents shifted. The anaconda remained unchanged and unstoppable. This is not a creature that is struggling to exist. This is a creature that simply refuses to disappear. In February 2024, a team of international scientists, including researchers from the University of Queensland and National Geographic explorers, published something that the scientific world didn't expect it. Green anaconda, long believed to be a single species, is actually two entirely different species. For 20 years, scientists had collected blood and tissue samples from anacondas across South America. But it was 2022 expedition into the remote Bamina region of Ecuador on the indigenous Guarani territory where the final pieces of the puzzle came together. They paddled up muddy rivers, they slogged through swamps, and when they analyzed the DNA of that snake, they found the results were staggering. Northern green anacondas, now named at Unex echima, is generally 5.5% different from its southern cousin, a gap larger than the generic difference between humans and chimpanzees. The two species split from a common ancestor nearly 10 million years ago, yet they look almost identical to the naked eye. The question is, what else is hiding in the plain sight out there? Remove a snake from the food chain and you create a chain reaction. Anacondas are apex predator in one of the most biologically diverse ecosystems on Earth. They regulate the population of capybaras, caiman, birds, and aquatic prey. Without them, haribo population can explode, overgazing riverbanks, destabilizing the very wetlands of millions of species, including human downstream, depend on. Healthy anaconda populations are a sign of a healthy Amazon. The indigenous Guarani people whose land harbored the newly discovered northern species have long understood this. They shared their rivers with these giants, not in fear but in respect. The anaconda is not their enemy. It is a part of the web that sustained them. Science is finally beginning to understand what they have always known. The anaconda survived 12 million years, but it has never faced a threat like this one. Humans. Deforestation driven by agriculture has already stripped 20 to 31% of the Amazon's habitat. Scientists project that figure could reach 40% by 2050. Anacondas are acutely sensitive to environmental change. They are top predators, which means they feel every ripple of damage to their prey and their habitat. Oil spills contaminate the river they live in, directly threatening their fertility and reproductive biology. They are hunted for their skins and feared as a threat to livestock. They are killed before people understand the role they play. In 2024, discovery makes things more urgent. The newly identified northern green anaconda, Unex acaima, has a far smaller geographical range than the southern species. That makes it inherently more vulnerable. Conservation strategies built around one species were never protecting both. A species unrecognized cannot be saved. The anaconda has outlasted dinosaurs. It watched continent drift. It has adapted through ice ages and mass extinction. It is one of the oldest living designs on this planet, and it still works perfectly. Science has just discovered that there are two of these giants where we thought there was one. More mysteries are almost suddenly waiting in the rivers and swamps we haven't explored yet. But here is the question we cannot afford to ignore. After 12 millions of years of surviving everything this planet threw at it, will the anaconda survive us? The question is not written yet. It depends on what we decide to protect and what we decide to destroy. The river is still there. The snake is still in it. For now.